Welcome to our deep dive on glowing up this summer. We're going to be talking all about this YouTube video from Tam Kaur.
Right.
And it's kind of amazing how much she packs in. It's beauty routines and mindset shifts and even financial planning. It's like a whole life makeover.
Yeah. It really is comprehensive.
It is.
It seems like she's aiming for transformation on all these different levels.
Exactly. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah.
What I was really drawn to was this whole romanticizing life and this main character energy. It sounds fun, but a little intimidating too.
Yeah, I think what's so fascinating about that concept is it's not about being the center of attention, but more about intentional living.
Yeah.
You know, even small tweaks like just making your morning coffee routine more mindful can really shift your whole perspective.
Okay, yeah, that makes it feel a little bit more doable.
Right.
So let's unpack Kaur's approach.
Okay.
First up is the external glow up, which seems to be all about looking and feeling your best. She dives right into beauty routines with things like dry brushing and specific products she recommends.
Right.
She even suggests shaving your face, which honestly I'm a little curious about.
It is interesting how she blends those traditional practices with more modern trends.
Yeah.
And focusing on hydration is always really good advice.
Definitely.
And finding makeup that suits your features rather than just blindly following all the trends out there.
What surprised me were the DIY beauty hacks using things like castor oil and frozen spoons.
Oh, yeah.
Are those actually effective, or are they more like old wives' tales?
Well, some of them have some scientific backing and others are more anecdotal.
Right.
Like, for example, cold temperatures, like those frozen spoons, they can temporarily reduce puffiness by constricting blood vessels.
I see.
But whether it's really worth the effort is up to you.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's all about what works for you.
Exactly.
She also stresses the importance of diet and exercise, which I think makes sense. But even there, she has some unique suggestions, like starting each morning with apple cider vinegar. I've heard that's good for digestion.
Yeah, it's often touted for various health benefits, but the research is still kind of emerging.
Okay.
I think the key takeaway here is that she emphasizes making healthy eating enjoyable.
I love that.
And not a chore.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like she even suggests having a whole Pinterest board just dedicated to healthy recipes.
What stands out to you from her diet tips?
Well, I think her focus on making mealtimes exciting while ensuring a balanced diet. It's not about restriction, but about finding pleasure in nourishing yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that is so crucial for long-term sustainability.
Absolutely. And she also mentioned swapping coffee for matcha.
Oh, yeah.
Have you tried that?
I have.
Okay.
They both have caffeine, obviously.
Right.
But matcha provides a more sustained energy boost without the jitters that some people experience with coffee. So it's a personal preference, but worth trying if you're looking for an alternative.
Okay. That's going on my to-do list.
All right.
Now, moving on to the internal glow-up.
Yes.
Kaur jumps right into relationships, suggesting a 3-month expiry date on undefined situations. That seems like a bold move.
It is.
Do you think that's too rigid, or could it actually be empowering?
I think what's fascinating is her focus on self-respect and not settling.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to be mindful of our time and energy, especially in dating.
So it's not necessarily about a strict timeline.
Exactly.
But about recognizing your worth and setting boundaries.
Absolutely.
She also talked about mastering the abundance mindset.
Yes.
Which I've heard of, but still find a bit fuzzy.
Okay.
Can you break that down for us?
Yeah. So think of it like this. A scarcity mindset focuses on limitations.
Okay.
While an abundance mindset believes in limitless possibilities.
Okay.
It's not about denying challenges, but about approaching them with the belief that things will work out.
So it's about how you approach things.
Yeah.
Okay. That's starting to click for me.
Good.
She uses the example of this woman named Athena, who embodies this mindset by embracing challenges head on. But Athena also goes after things with zero experience.
Yeah.
Isn't that setting herself up for failure?
Not necessarily. I think it's more about having a growth mindset.
Okay.
Even if things don't go as planned, there's a lesson to be learned.
That's a good way to reframe it. So
Yeah.
how do we actually cultivate this abundance mindset in our own lives?
Well, Kaur suggests starting with a shift in beliefs.
Okay.
You know, look for the good in every situation and trust that things are working out in your favor, even when it's not immediately apparent.
That sounds like it takes a lot of conscious effort.
It does.
Especially if negativity is kind of your default.
Yeah, and it's a process, not an overnight switch.
Right.
Small changes like starting a gratitude journal or surrounding yourself with positive affirmations can really help to shift your perspective over time.
She also mentions the importance of detachment.
Yes.
And not taking things personally. That sounds almost impossible in a world where everything feels personal.
It is challenging,
Yeah.
but crucial.
Okay.
Remember, other people's actions often reflect their own struggles, not a deliberate attack on you. Practicing empathy can help create distance and protect your own emotional well-being.
So it's really about focusing on what you can control.
Exactly.
Which is your own reactions.
Absolutely. Developing that emotional resilience allows you to navigate those difficult situations without being totally derailed by all the negativity.
Speaking of challenges, she also emphasizes stepping outside one's comfort zone, seeing it as a catalyst for growth.
Right.
She even suggests looking at it like a game, like, how much can I get away with?
Yeah, it's a playful way to kind of reframe that discomfort.
Right.
By viewing challenges as these opportunities for adventure and discovery.
Yeah.
Stepping outside that comfort zone feels a lot less intimidating.
I like that. So it's about approaching personal growth with a sense of curiosity and a playfulness.
Yes.
Not taking ourselves too seriously.
Exactly. And I think that playful approach can make the process more enjoyable and sustainable.
Okay, let's move on to Kaur's definition of self-care, which seems pretty broad.
Okay.
She includes everything from journaling and emotional awareness to reading self-help books and taking social media detoxes.
It's a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Recognizing that self-care is more than just pampering.
Right.
It's about nurturing your mental and emotional well-being alongside your physical health.
She specifically recommends journaling and even scripting out negative emotions.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what are the benefits of that?
It's about becoming aware of your emotional patterns.
Okay.
By writing down your negative thoughts and feelings, you can start to understand their triggers and develop healthier coping mechanisms.
So it's like taking those thoughts out of your head and putting them on paper where you can examine them more objectively.
Exactly. It's a powerful tool for gaining clarity and developing a stronger sense of self-awareness.
Another thing she advocates for is taking social media detoxes.
Yes.
It's something I've thought about, but never fully committed to. Have you found those beneficial?
I have. Social media can be a breeding ground for comparison and self-doubt.
Yeah, it really can.
Taking a break can allow you to reconnect with yourself and your goals and appreciate the present moment more fully.
It's about being intentional with your time and energy.
Exactly.
And recognizing when something is draining rather than fueling you.
And also, it's about shifting your focus from external validation to internal satisfaction.
Okay, so we've covered external and internal glow-up tips.
Right.
What comes next in Kaur's guide?
So next, she dives into living life in style.
Ooh, okay.
Where she shares tips for creating a life you love.
Right.
Starting with crafting a vision for your dream life and taking steps to actually manifest it.
This sounds right up my alley.
All right.
So let's explore that in part 2 of our deep dive.
It's interesting you mentioned feeling a bit overwhelmed by all of Kaur's tips.
Right. It's inspiring, but also, like, where do I even start? Especially those DIY beauty things.
Yeah.
Dry brushing castor oil. They seem a little out there.
It's good to be discerning. Not everything works for everyone.
Okay.
Dry brushing is said to exfoliate and boost circulation, but the science is still kind of iffy.
Right.
Castor oil is a classic for hair and lash growth.
Yeah.
Some people swear by it, but again, more research is needed.
So it's more about personal preference and maybe a bit of experimentation.
Yes. Do your research, patch test new products.
Right.
And consult a dermatologist if you have any concerns. Not every trend is worth jumping on.
Good advice. What about her emphasis on drinking 3 liters of water a day? Is that like a hard and fast rule or more of a general guideline?
Well, hydration is crucial for overall health.
Right.
And it can contribute to that glow we're after. But individual needs vary.
Okay.
Listen to your body and consult a healthcare professional for personalized advice.
She also recommends shaving your face.
Oh, yeah.
Which I've heard can make makeup go on smoother. But does it actually make your hair grow back thicker?
That's a myth. Shaving just removes the hair at the surface.
Okay.
It doesn't affect the follicle below.
Right.
It can exfoliate, creating a smoother canvas for makeup.
Okay.
Just be sure to use a razor designed for facial hair and be gentle to avoid irritation.
Okay, good to know. What about those frozen spoons for puffy eyes? Does that actually work, or is it just a temporary fix?
The cold constricts blood vessels,
Okay.
which can temporarily reduce puffiness.
I see.
It's a quick fix, but don't expect miracles.
So on to the internal glow-up, where Kaur jumps into relationship advice.
Mm-hmm.
She suggests that 3-month expiry date on undefined relationships.
Right.
And while I appreciate the emphasis on self-respect, couldn't that also backfire?
Yeah.
What if someone needs a little more time to figure things out?
It's a provocative statement for sure. I think what's key is her focus on recognizing your worth and not settling for less.
Okay.
It's not about a rigid timeline.
Right.
Or about being mindful of your needs and boundaries.
It's about taking control.
Exactly.
And making conscious choices, not just letting things happen to you.
Exactly. It's about being proactive in shaping your relationships,
Okay.
romantic or otherwise, to align with your values.
Speaking of taking control, she also talks about the abundance mindset.
Yes.
Which you explained earlier. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around how to actually apply it. Do you have any real-life examples that could help illustrate it?
Absolutely. So imagine you're looking for a new job.
Okay.
With a scarcity mindset, you might focus on the limited number of openings, get discouraged easily, and settle for something less than ideal.
Right.
But with an abundance mindset, you believe there are plenty of opportunities out there.
Okay.
You stay persistent.
Yeah.
And you attract the right role.
So I see the difference.
Yeah.
It's about shifting your perspective from, like, there's not enough to there's plenty for everyone.
Precisely. It's about trusting that the universe will provide.
Okay.
And focusing on what you want to attract rather than what you lack.
She also stresses the importance of detachment and not taking things personally.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is easier said than done. Any tips on how to develop that kind of emotional resilience?
It's a practice like building a muscle.
Okay.
One technique is reframing. So when someone's being negative, instead of taking it personally, consider what might be going on in their life.
Okay.
Maybe they're stressed, insecure, or simply having a bad day.
That's a good point. It's about recognizing that people's actions are often more about them than about you.
And by choosing not to internalize their negativity, you protect your own peace of mind.
So it's not about becoming emotionless, but about choosing how you respond to external situations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about developing the inner strength to weather life's storms without being swept away by them.
Kaur also encourages stepping outside of one's comfort zone. She even frames it as a game.
I love that.
I love that playful approach. But how do you know when you're pushing too far versus just challenging yourself in a healthy way?
It's a balance. Pay attention to your intuition.
Okay.
A healthy challenge feels exciting and a bit scary, like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Pushing too far can lead to overwhelm and burnout.
Okay.
It's about finding that sweet spot where you're stretching yourself without snapping.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
And it reminds me, she also talks about self-care.
Yes.
And her definition seems pretty broad.
Yeah.
What are some key takeaways from her approach?
Well, Kaur emphasizes holistic self-care, encompassing physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It's not just about indulging in treats, but about prioritizing your health and happiness.
She even mentions journaling and scripting out negative emotions.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on what that entails?
Yeah.
And how it can be beneficial?
It's a powerful technique for processing difficult feelings.
Okay.
So write down everything you're thinking and feeling, no judgment. It gets those thoughts out of your head and allows you to look at them more objectively.
Okay.
You might even uncover patterns or triggers you weren't aware of.
So it's like creating a dialogue with yourself.
Exactly.
Almost like talking to a therapist.
Exactly. And it can be incredibly cathartic. Another thing Kaur advocates for is social media detoxes.
I know so many people who swear by those.
Yeah.
Have you personally found them beneficial?
Absolutely. It's so easy to get caught up in the comparison game on social media.
Yeah.
Taking a break can help you reconnect with yourself and your own values without the constant noise and pressure of online life.
It's about being mindful of what you're consuming.
Exactly.
And choosing to focus on what truly nourishes you.
Now, Karuri's next chapter is all about living life in style, which is where things get really fun.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's dive into that in part 3. Okay, so living life in style. This is where I think a lot of us get stuck.
Yeah.
Knowing we want more, but not sure how to make it happen.
Right.
Where does Kaur suggest we start?
Well, she's a big believer in visualization.
Okay.
Which makes sense. Our minds are powerful tools.
Right.
She suggests, starting with Pinterest, creating a vision board that truly reflects your dream life.
That's something I've always loved.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just feels like pretty pictures.
Right.
How do we make it more actionable?
Well, Kaur suggests going beyond just the aesthetics.
Okay.
What feelings do you want to experience in this dream life? What activities bring you joy? What kind of impact do you want to make on the world?
Right.
Include images that represent those deeper aspirations.
So it's about creating a visual representation of not just what we want our life to look like,
exactly,
but also how we want to feel within it.
It's about capturing the essence of your dream life.
Okay.
And using that as a source of inspiration and motivation.
She also emphasizes creating a summer bucket list,
Aww.
which she meticulously categorizes from fitness goals and friend dates to personal projects and travel plans.
It's impressive.
It is impressive how organized she is.
It speaks to her intentionality.
Yeah.
By breaking down her goals into these specific categories, she creates a roadmap for a fulfilling and memorable summer.
It's like she's saying if you want to live life in style, you have to plan for it.
Exactly.
Be intentional about creating those experiences.
It's not about leaving things to chance, but about actively designing a life that brings you joy and fulfillment.
This reminds me of something she mentioned earlier, romanticizing life. Can you elaborate on what she means by that?
Sure.
How that ties into this chapter?
It's about finding ways to infuse everyday moments with beauty and tension and a touch of magic.
Okay.
It could be as simple as savoring your morning coffee ritual, creating a cozy reading nook, or dressing up for a mundane errand.
Right.
It's about shifting your perspective and finding joy in the little things.
So it's not about grand gestures or expensive vacations, but about finding those little sparks of joy in our daily routines.
Exactly. It's about making a conscious effort to appreciate the beauty that already exists in our lives and to create more of it wherever we can.
I love that. It's about being the curator of your own experiences. It makes me think of her suggestion to get back into photography as a way to romanticize her life.
Yeah, photography can be such a powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness and appreciation.
Okay.
By capturing those everyday moments through a lens, you're training yourself to see the world with fresh eyes and to find beauty in the ordinary.
It's about slowing down, paying attention, and finding those little details that we often go unnoticed.
Exactly. It's about cultivating a sense of wonder and appreciation for the world around us.
Okay, let's move on to the final chapter of Kaur's Glow Up Guide.
Right.
Becoming your most successful self.
Okay.
She starts with a unique exercise, writing down all the people and causes you want to help.
Right.
Once you achieve financial success.
I think that's brilliant.
It is.
It shifts the focus from personal gain to a larger purpose.
Right.
It reminds us that success isn't just about accumulating wealth, but about using it to make a positive impact.
It's like she's saying money is a tool.
Exactly.
And true success lies in how you use that tool to benefit yourself and others.
By connecting your financial goals with a deeper sense of purpose, you fuel your motivation with something bigger than yourself.
She even suggests pairing this list with a vision board. Creating a tangible representation of your aspirations and the positive impact you want to make.
It's about keeping those aspirations front and center.
Right.
By regularly engaging with these visual reminders, you reinforce your commitment and stay motivated on your journey.
Then she makes this bold statement, obsession beats talent. What do you make of that?
Well, think of individuals who've achieved these extraordinary things.
Okay.
They weren't necessarily born with exceptional talent. It was their relentless passion, their unwavering commitment that propelled them forward.
So it's not about denying the importance of talent,
Right.
but about recognizing that obsession, that burning desire, can be an even greater driving force.
Exactly. Talent can open doors.
Okay.
But it's obsession that keeps you pushing through the challenges, the setbacks,
Right.
and the inevitable doubts that arise along the way.
She uses her own journey as an example. Her success on YouTube wasn't just about being naturally charismatic or tech-savvy.
Right.
It was fueled by her deep passion for self-development and her unwavering commitment to sharing that knowledge with others.
It's a testament to the power of dedication.
It really is.
It shows that when you truly believe in something and pour your heart and soul into it, you can achieve incredible things.
Kaur also emphasizes taking responsibility for your own life. No one is going to come and do it for you, she says.
The call to action. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your own story.
Right.
And taking ownership of your choices and actions.
It's about empowering yourself to create the life you want.
Exactly.
Rather than waiting for someone else to hand it to you.
It's about taking the reins and steering your life in the direction of your dreams.
She encourages her viewers to take inspiration from others, but ultimately to forge their own path.
It's about recognizing that while learning from others is valuable, your journey is unique.
Right.
It's about trusting your intuition and making choices that align with your values and aspirations.
Her final piece of advice is to invest in yourself.
Yes.
This includes everything from reading books and attending networking events to developing multiple streams of income and improving your financial literacy.
It's about recognizing your worth and dedicating resources to your growth.
Right.
Whether it's acquiring new knowledge, expanding your skill set, or building your financial foundation, investing in yourself is an investment in your future.
She emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people.
Absolutely.
And seeking out communities that support your growth.
Your social circle can have a profound impact on your mindset and trajectory.
Yeah, it really can.
Choose to spend time with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your goals.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
I agree.
I feel like we've covered so much ground.
We have.
From external beauty tips to internal mindset shifts.
Yeah.
To strategies for achieving your goals and making a positive impact.
Kaur has provided a roadmap for holistic transformation.
She really has.
It's not just about looking good.
Right.
It's about feeling good, cultivating a positive mindset, creating a life that aligns with your values and aspirations.
What I appreciate most is her emphasis on intentionality.
Me too.
It's about taking control of your life, designing experiences that bring you joy, and making conscious choices that support your growth and well-being.
It's a reminder that we have the power to create the life we desire. It starts with a vision, a belief in ourselves, and a willingness to put in the work.
It's been a pleasure unpacking Kaur's Glow Up Guide with you.
Likewise.
I feel inspired and empowered to put her advice into action.
That's great. Remember, this is your journey.
Right.
Choose the tips and strategies that resonate most with you and start experimenting.
Okay.
Embrace the process and enjoy the ride.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Here's to glowing up this summer.